know someone who has a story for every situation? Someone who has so many stories they start to sound like lies? But have you ever thought maybe they weren't lies? The movie Big Fish is a classic, some would say, and I would have to agree. The underlying lessons in this movie are why people love it, and I'll tell you why. Before we get on with the video, make sure y'all like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Alright, let's get on with the video. The movie Big Fish was based on the novel Big Fish, a novel of mythic proportions by Daniel Wallace. The film was directed by Tim Burton and was released in 2003. The screenplay was written by John August. It was also nominated for an Oscar. The film stars different actors playing younger and older versions of the characters. Ewan McGregor plays young Edward Bloom. In the film, there are many stars like Billy Crudup, Jessica Lange, Alison Lohman, Danny DeVito, Matthew McGorry, David Denman, and Steve Buscemi, as well as many more. In a nutshell, the film is about a son learning about his father's life and his stories that weren't all made up. Similarly, with many books that turn into movies, there is some controversy. Although, some people who have loved the book love the movie even more. They would say it's similar, but the movie has a more whimsical and exaggerated aspect. In Big Fish, the visuals are different than most movies. Some would say they're almost ethereal. The film incorporates reality and imaginary aspects. The use of wide-angle shots provides a sort of POV and lets you really take in the whole scene. The lighting and color in the film lets you decipher what's reality and what isn't. When the colors are very bright and vibrant, this is how you can tell that this is one of Edward's stories. When it's showing his stories, there's a bright filter put over everyone. It sort of looks like they're glowing. When the colors are more dimmed and the view is clearer, that's how you can tell it's reality. In the film, there are many memorable quotes. One being, a man tells a story so many times that he becomes the stories. They live on after him, and in that way, he becomes immortal. If you've seen the film, this quote really represents it. In the reality portion of the movie, we can tell that Edward Bloom starts to become his own stories. They have a specific way of talking in the film as well. Their accents and vocabulary reminds you of a fairy tale. Another quote that I love from the film would be, have you ever heard a joke so many times that you've forgotten why it's funny? And then you hear it again and suddenly it's new? You remember why you loved it in the first place. This line from the film helps you understand Will's point of view. In the beginning of the film, he's trying to prove that his father's stories are all lies. He seems very frustrated and is upset that his father continues to tell these stories even though they're not true. Towards the end of the movie, he discovers that maybe they weren't all lies. He lives through his father in this sense, and by the end of the film, he fully understands his father's life. This movie is worth a watch. There are so many lessons. Even though it's almost 20 years old, it's still a classic, and I would show it to my kids. It toggles between fiction and non-fiction, but somehow they all tie into reality. What do y'all think about this movie? Would you watch it? Leave a comment below and let me know. Bye!